This is an incredible new sixth LP from the band Cheap Heat. I'm curious, you guys are often described sort of as, um, this adrenaline fueled punk rock band. Do you guys have a way that you describe your sound?
I think it's pretty accurate.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's pretty good.
yeah, punk rock in general is obviously super high energy, high tempo, crazy usually, but within the genre, there's subgenres and different styles, and we like to push it to the limit, especially with the guitars and bass and speeds and stuff. So it's always been our kind of jam. We like the
Yeah,
riffs.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'd say it's pretty accurate, honestly. I don't know.
Adrenaline.
Adrenaline. Yeah.
Ben, who are some of the artists that influenced you when you were growing up?
Me?
Yeah.
Um, a lot. I mean, for punk rock, it was like Bad Religion and Propaganda and Strung Out and bands like that. And then I got heavily into like a metal and hardcore. And but really fell into metal hard with all the Swedish bands mostly. The melodic death metal sound of the 90s. In Flames, At the Gates, all these bands, Carcass, Dark Tranquillity. That was like my DNA through my teenage years and still now. So a healthy mix of punk and metal.
What about you, Trevor?
A lot of the same bands, and also hot water music, and um, yeah, a lot of bands from a lot of bands that the early 2000s was a really like special time, I think, for all kinds of different genres of bands, all kind of post-punk, post-hardcore, and sort of like the early days of emo and stuff like that. I think that's always had like an equally big influence on us as the shreddy stuff, the melodic, hard on your sleeve, lyric type bands like that.
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely. We all love Nada Surf too, the band Nada Surf. And just
Yeah,
softer
big time.
indie rock, post-punk stuff. We love all that stuff too.
How could you not? Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't have it loud all the time. You gotta chill out sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Just great smart songwriting. It's
Mhm.
very easy to identify, but
Yeah.
you know,
Good
very very
songs are good
special
songs.
way you find it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Ben, with Cheap Heat out, what are some themes you guys are going to be exploring on it?
Well, Trev wrote most of the lyrics, Trev and Nuno, but
We'll
yeah,
get
might
to
have written.
that. We'll
Yeah,
get
okay,
to
okay, okay, cool, cool. But yeah, the thing, I mean, as a band, we kind of discussed, even having the art center around this idea of kind of like a thriller, like a Wilhelm Scream style thriller movie, and so the whole thing was trying to be cinematic in its look and kind of its approach and its tone. It has like a dark, gritty tone. I didn't obviously contribute any lyrics, but in terms of just the vibe of the record, like we wanted it to be dark, gritty, pedal to the metal, in your face. And yeah, the themes of the record, the villains throughout the stories and the songs, kind of match that energy.
Trevor. For you, what is your songwriting process? Do you need to have a beat before you can craft some lyrics, or does it change every time for you?
It's it kind of changes. It probably oscillates between a couple different points of inspiration. Sometimes a lyric idea will pop into my head, and then that'll make me want to pursue a whole song just based on like one little phrase or something like that. Um, and then other times, um, yeah, just coming across a cool riff, and I try to get like a concept going, I kind of consider songs to be sort of like, 2 minute long movies, or 3 minute long movies. So if I can get kind of like oh, here's an overall theme, then, and something to aspire to, like that this idea could be, something like special and kind of so every song can kind of stand on its own. That's kind of like the impetus of each song. I try to get to that point where I could say, oh, all right, this could be our serial killer song. This could be our Monday Night Football song. You know, um, we just cut it, and this conversations we have with each other while we're writing, putting the songs together too. We always kind of say, oh well, what if it was kind of like this, and what if this was you know, like what if the song is just somebody's gonna die, and we just bring it up the whole time. Here's a good example of this. So for our leadoff track, somebody's gonna die. My idea to start with was to be okay. I want to have this big build up to the song, right? To the end of the song, the climax. And then we stop it, pull the rug. And the last thing we say is somebody's gonna die. And just said once. And then Ben and the guys heard like they liked the chorus a lot. They said, let's do it more times. So the chorus ended up being repeated more than any other, ironically, more than any other Wilhelm song. We've never had a chorus go like four times until now. And my original idea was just to have it like once. So that having those if we didn't have that, everybody, adding their own takes on things, like, then the songs wouldn't come out as like interesting and, unexpectedly as they do. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Just another cool thing about being in a band, like collaborating with
Yeah,
other
100%.
writers.
And it's cool too because like it's stepping into the fold with Wilhelm, the way that Trevor writes songs and these guys write songs is like it is really cool. It could be based off a concept. In my past, it was always like I'd write a song of music and then I would write lyrics separately and try to make it work. But like the songs are so much more interesting and work for the crazy world of Wilhelm, where it's like it will start either maybe one lyric, like he said, or one riff, and then an idea or like a song title and like all these other things to make this thing to make the songs unique and become this thing that's really thought about, really intensely scrutinized. And every, the flair of every single riff, it will be in the style of the lyrics. Like they match, it's intentional. It's like, so anyways, it was really cool for me to see that process because I was always just kind of separate, more surgical, like metal or whatever. Not surgical, but, you know, not as singer-songwritery, I guess I would say.
Sure.
And that was cool to see. Yeah.
Trevor, you are super hands-on with this album. You produced it, then your dad helped with the mastering. Why was it so important for you to be so hands-on with this? Maybe baby it a little.
Well, I don't know. I think it was always something that we kind of like I feel like it's something we've been working towards for like a long time. Um, I really, it's kind of, being sort of, responsible for like the audio. It's like a stewardship of the band, you know, um and stuff. And that's also, um something I've always like, enjoyed doing, working towards a goal where we're completely self-sufficient and we can just create art without having to worry about, okay, what, what's this big budget? You know what I mean? Like we'd rather put we whatever budget I'd kind of like rather put into um furthering the band and, like doing cool videos and, making more art. So I think all the work that we've done on like the previous records kind of leading up to this was, I don't know, in many ways just like a nice, you know, a great next chapter. I don't know if I want to do all the records like everything alone from here on out, but I think doing it this way was pretty cool because we we scheduled the writing right into the recording. So when our brains, my brain was completely on these songs for 2 solid years straight because we were just, working them, you know what I mean? And um as it was taking shape, like we would all get ideas on how how we wanted to sound raw. I think that, you know, a lot of fans, that what I've always heard was, oh, they're like an amazing live band, like particularly live band, and on the recording end of things, of the production end of things, I'm constantly trying to figure out like what that means exactly. Like, how do we get there on the record? You know what I mean? Like, you know, and so I know that when we play live, we're not like perfect, So I think we took that into that. Maybe it's just the rawness and
Okay.
the confidence, quite frankly, just confidence.
Yeah.
So
The in your face attack, it's like it's trying to capture that same energy, which is yeah, just as in your face as possible is our intent. So
yeah, I didn't want to overproduce it, and you know, which, I don't know what's the word,
glossify it,
over gloss of, yeah,
make it sound like plastic and
Mm,
yeah,
stuff
which is
like
very
cookie
easy to fall
cutter.
down the trap, but
yeah, it's
but we're
cookie
gonna
cutter
say,
production. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, no, let's let these guitars be like as gnarly and ripping as possible, and you know, get you know, capture the power of the songs.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, so it was a great thing, but yeah, I mean, wearing a lot of hats, so it was very like, all right, next time, yeah, let's get some
Little
more.
taxing.
Yeah,
We
Little-
all we all like, I mean, we're a very self-sustaining band, self-sufficient. Like, Trev records us. I put out our records on my label. Nick builds his own drums and uses
yeah,
those on tour and recording. It's
we're
like,
very DIY
yeah, yeah,
in our
My
creative
goodness.
endeavors.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ben, I think Trevor might be a little biased if I ask him this next question. So I'm going to ask you. Midnight Ghost and I Got Tunnel Vision are my favorite tracks off Cheap Heat. What are some of your favorite songs?
I mean, they change, they definitely change. Well, since the record came out, or the last month or so, I've really loved enjoying listening to Poison 2, the last track on the record. It's just got such a good groove and sounds really good, and just a fun song, fun tempo, and all that. And it's a nice, I wouldn't say palate cleanse at the end of the record, but it's like this kind of ass kicking reprieve, a little slower tempo, but it just drives. So I love that song. But they all change, I mean? Scumbag Grift is another favorite lately. I don't know how we pulled that one off or finally wrote it, but it turned out sick and the fans are liking it a lot. And, it's a dense one. So I like those. I like the ones that take like, 20 listens to be like, okay, I'm starting to know what's going on here. Yeah.
You guys are headed to Australia here, maybe tomorrow or the
Tomorrow
next
night.
day.
Yeah. Tomorrow night.
Hopefully, you're all packed and ready to go. Do you have some favorite venues, not just in Australia, because you guys have an upcoming Japan leg? You're here in Canada and a little bit in the US for the spring. Do you guys have a favorite place, Trevor, that you guys like to perform?
Like in the world or in Australia?
Anywhere, anywhere.
Oh,
Is there?
just anywhere? Oh, wow, so many come to mind. I think since we're going to Australia, one of my favorites, Crowbar. All the Crowbar. I love playing. Melbourne, it was our first as a band years ago. Our first sellout show headliner. Outside of our country. So that's always like that city's always been amazing. But
You got
yeah.
Cambridge, Mass coming up.
Oh, Cambridge, yeah.
That's gonna be great.
Yeah, the
Little
Middle East
close
is a
to home.
fantastic place to play. Yeah. Yeah, the Middle East downstairs, which is a dream because it's like the big venue in Boston, with all the huge bands would play there back in the day. So it's awesome going back there and having the Flatliners play with us there and everything, like doing this co-headliner that's gonna be bonkers. Those shows are gonna be so sick.
Yeah. Canada always shows us mad love too.
Yes.
Every time we play in Canada, I mean, they love what we do up there and this sound, in general, this intense kind of fast punk sound. Yeah, they just love it, and we always feel very welcomed everywhere, to be honest. But Canada's just always a ripping good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben talked a little bit about what people can expect from a live A Wilhelm Scream show, but Trevor, do you have any thoughts on, do you guys have some cheap heat that you'll be integrating this time around too?
Yeah, we're gonna sprinkle in some cheap heat. on the in the sets.
Excited about playing the new song, so I'm
Yeah.
just
Sorry, go ahead.
smiling. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, excited about playing the songs. We've been playing Midnight Ghost and Let It Ride on this
Yeah.
on the West Coast leg.
They've been super fun.
So far, it's been
Yeah.
great. Yeah, like the people, the crowds have been like just digging it already, you know. And I remember back in the day when we'd put out an album, it would take so long for people to kind of digest it, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And stuff. And you'd be like, oh yeah, the next time we come around, then that's when the song from that album, you know, will get everybody moving and stuff. But at these shows, it's been like, you know, hey, this song's called Midnight Ghost, and then just like the crowd roaring. So it's really nice. It's nice
Yeah.
because I remember back in the day it being like different, you
Thanks.
know.
It took a while.
Takes a while,
Yeah.
like yeah, because sometimes our songs could be growers, but on this album, you know, it's a lot of showers.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Well said. That's good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good.
Absolutely.
I've been working on that one.
Yeah, we're gonna make a shirt with it actually.
Yeah,
Yeah. We've been contemplating.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, tour merch here to come.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like I said, some tracks on the record take 20 listens, but they might be
Yep.
your favorite. All the best records take time to I would never want to
Build
listen
a
to.
heart with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really enjoy when I listen to an album and by the middle of each song, I know exactly what the song is and I can skip and it's like I want some, mystery and a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
But and our fans know that and appreciate that. They're really cool. They know it's dense material, so it's fun for them to dive in. It's cool.
Trevor, what would you guys like to say then to fans of A Wilhelm Scream that continue to just love the music you guys keep putting out?
Man, it's like thank you so much. Like we get tagged in comments all day. Our phones are pinging with people saying, "Oh yes, love it." Just them digging the record. So that's what a good feeling.
Yeah.
And thank you for the support over the years. You know, you guys allow us to live our dreams. You know, just creating art, making music, making just creating cool shit. So
Yeah, I couldn't do it
we're the
without him.
yeah, we're the luckiest guys in the world. So thank you so much. That's what I'd like to say. How
No, it's
about you, man?
perfect. No, I couldn't have said it any better. That's great. Yeah, we appreciate all of you and thank you for the feedback on the new album. It's
Yeah,
overwhelmingly,
really puts
you know,
wind in our sails.
yes, yes.
While we're out here,
We're so stoked everyone's loving the songs and we're here to rip Cheap Heat for the next few years at least. So we're ready.
Does this mean y'all are gonna go back into the studio maybe after spring tour to start working on a next album, Ben?
Oh, no,
No,
honestly, it's funny. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, we got a little
Yeah.
bit in the chamber.
We have songs in the
Extra
chamber
work, yeah.
recorded already, some
Recorded
extras
already, so
that we have planned. But honestly, like,
and they're wacky.
yeah, they're wacky, so get ready. But the recording experience this last time, the writing experience was really informative, and I think the next one will be even more streamlined, and we know what to do exactly now. It worked and didn't work, and what was productive, and if all these things. And I think we want to just keep the train rolling. So like I could see another record in 3 4 years. You know what I mean? Like it won't be long. So we love writing, we love writing music, so we want to do it as long as we can. So we'll see. But for now, we're gonna rip these songs and celebrate this record for a while at least.
Yeah.
I can't get back into Pro Tools just yet.
No.
Yeah.